Hi everyone. Before I start, I'd like to share the story behind Boy Racer. This companion notebook isn't just a collection of notes. It's a detailed look at how the story came to life, the inspiration behind it, the characters, the cars, the locations, and the ideas that shape the world. It's a respectful behind-the-scenes journey through the creative process, and I hope it gives you a deeper appreciation of what Boy Racer meant to me. So, let's begin. In subtitles. Boy Racer began as a personal project born from adversity, written in 2025. Story emerged just a year after my battle with viral meningitis, encephalitis, and pneumonia, an experience that nearly took away my health and my sense of direction. Writing the story became a form of recovery. It allowed me to reclaim my passion for cars, storytelling, and imagination. At its heart, Boy Racer is my tribute to car culture and to the resilience of working people who refuse to give up after life knocks them down. The story is set in Birmingham, long associated with Britain's boy racer culture, and embraces the gritty urban atmosphere that makes the city such a fitting backdrop for a high-speed crime drama. The project was also deeply influenced by my childhood growing up as an autistic Salopian in Shrewsbury. I loved cars in every form, films, games and toys. Movies like Fast and Furious, The Italian Job and Gone in 60 Seconds filled my imagination with roaring engines and daring drivers. Racing games like Need for Speed and Grand Theft Auto allowed me to step into those worlds myself. Even my toy box was full of Hot Wheels cars speeding across the living room floor. Some of my childhood memories involve riding around the estate on my scooter pretending I was in a street race or a police chase, imagining myself as Dominic Toretto or Brian O'Connor. Boy Racer is the grown-up continuation of that childhood dream. While the story features high-speed action and intense chases, Boy Racer is fundamentally an underdog story. One of my biggest inspirations was the 2004 comedy sports film Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story, which celebrates perseverance, determination, and outsiders overcoming the odds. Tim's journey reflects that spirit. After illness destroyed his rally driving career, he must rediscover his identity behind the wheel. The story isn't about being the fastest driver in the world. It's about finding the courage to keep going when everything seems lost. Tim is the central character. He's a former rally driver whose career was cut short by viral meningitis, haunted by what he had lost, but driven by stubborn determination to move forward. He enters the dangerous underground race known as #Speed 12. Tim drives a metallic green 1977 Ford Escort Mark II RS 1800, nicknamed Green Beast. The car reflects both nostalgia and personality, classic rally heritage combined with a rebellious street racing edge. The nickname itself carries a symbolic meaning. The Green Beast represents the heart of Shrek, the power of the Hulk, and the core rebellious spirit of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Its name was also inspired by my own e-bike, which I affectionately call the Green Beast. Inside the car sits a small plush toy of Pingu, a nod to the beloved children's show I watched growing up. For Tim and for me, it represents the comfort of childhood during life's toughest moments. Tim is both a tribute to my mum's late boyfriend and a reflection of my own life. Like the character, I have faced serious illness and had to rediscover my identity afterward. Growing up with autism and Asperger's also shaped the way I see the world. In many ways, Tim represents resilience, proof that setbacks don't define who we become. Many of the characters in Boy Racer draw inspiration from real people who influenced my life. Starting with Holly, Tim's love interest, is based on my first celebrity crush, Holly Valance, particularly during her early Neighbours and pop music career, when she seemed like the perfect star for a stylish action film alongside Vin Diesel. In the story, Holly is portrayed as a loyal, warm-hearted, and emotionally supportive, a grounding presence for Tim amid the chaos. While Holly Valance's real-life public persona has become controversial in recent years, the character of Holly in this story is entirely separate from her real-life counterpart, but maintains the name as a nod and tribute. Tim's crew is also rooted in personal tributes. Dane and Sajamon honour 2 NHS nurses who cared for me during my illness. Barry is inspired by the late Barry Austin, once Britain's fattest man and a proud Birmingham City supporter known for his larger-than-life personality. Robert combines influences from my uncle and stepfather. These characters represent the sense of community that exists within car culture, people from different backgrounds united by their love of machines and the open road. The antagonists of Boy Racer include disgraced racing champion Nigel Faraday, known simply as the Boss, written as a parody of Nigel Farage, whom I dislike. Faraday manipulates drivers into participating in a dangerous illegal race broadcast across the country. The racers themselves, known as the Rose, are satirical caricatures inspired by controversial modern British political figures. Their arrogance and recklessness act as commentary on ego, power, and poor leadership. However, the story intentionally avoids leaning politically left or right. Instead, it stays middle ground and focused on the human drama, the action, and the culture surrounding the race. Pursuing the racers is a specialist police unit known as the Cheetah Division, led by Sergeant Paul and Sergeant Sophie. Sergeant Paul was created as a tribute to 2 figures from my childhood, the late Paul Walker, whose portrayal of Brian O'Connor defined the Fast and Furious franchise, and Paul Catamol of S Club 7, whose music was a constant presence growing up. Sergeant Sophie takes inspiration from pop singer Sophie Ellis-Bextor and Sky Sports presenter and model Sophie Blake, whom I vividly remember seeing in an early 2000s Oncom Moose advert where her playful laugh left a lasting impression. Unlike many action films that portray police officers as clumsy or incompetent, Paul and Sophie were written as professional, intelligent and efficient officers, formidable opponents for the racers. Music plays an essential role in the atmosphere of Boy Racer. The soundtrack draws heavily from the late 90s and early 2000s, blending UK garage, drum and bass and pop music. Key musical moments include Daniel Bedingfield's Gotta Get Through This representing Tim's determination, Holly Valance's Kiss Kiss accompanying stylish drifting scenes, The Prodigy Breathe underscoring chaos and danger, and DJ Sammy's Heaven celebrating victory and survival. The music reflects the era when street racing culture thrived across Britain. The tone of Boy Racer draws from a wide range of cinematic and cultural influences. Films like Bullet, Mad Max and Baby Driver shaped the visual style of the car chases. Racing games such as Grand Theft Auto and Forza inspired the urban energy of the story. Even music videos like Pure Tones, Addicted to Bass and Scooter's Ramp the Logical song helped capture the rhythm and intensity of nighttime street racing. While Boy Racer celebrates fast cars and adrenaline, it also makes an important distinction between passion and recklessness. The story acknowledges dangers of irresponsible driving and public roads while celebrating the positive aspects of car culture, mechanical creativity, community, friendly rivalry, and the pride people take in their vehicles. For many working class enthusiasts, cars represent freedom, identity, and self-expression. Boy Racer is my tribute to the street-level spirit that originally defined the Fast and Furious franchise before it evolved into a much larger spectacle. The difference is scale. Those films are created by massive Hollywood studios with enormous budgets. Boy Racer came entirely from my imagination, inspired by personal experiences, childhood memories, and the people who shaped my life. What began as a passion project ultimately became something much bigger. A story about resilience, creativity, and never giving up on the things you love. I'm incredibly proud of Boy Racer. Writing it allowed me to transform pain into power and nostalgia into storytelling. It's about survival, it's about passion, and it's about finding your way back to the driver's seat when life locks you down or off the road. So keep racing, keep dreaming, and never let the noise of the world drown out the sound of your own engine. Signed by me, Ben Chipchase.